Imagine for a moment that you could breathe without your chest moving, without taking in air, without using your lungs at all. Sounds impossible, right? Maybe it's just that we're so used to thinking of breathing as something only our body does, that we've forgotten it has a deeper, quieter side to it. From the second we enter the world, life seems to begin with something dramatic, a baby's first cry, the lungs filling with air for the first time. That moment feels like the beginning of breath. But really, it starts before that. Before that first breath, while we were still floating in the quiet of the womb, there was already a kind of rhythm happening inside us. It wasn't about taking in oxygen. It was about energy. It wasn't something the body did, but something much deeper, a soft, inner movement that connected us to life itself. This early kind of breath is known as embryonic breathing. The name might sound poetic, but the practice is both deep and real. This video will take you into a teaching that has stayed mostly hidden, passed down through old spiritual traditions. These traditions knew that real energy doesn't enter through the nose but through unseen points in the energy body, especially the lower dantian, found just below the belly button. This area is seen as the center of energy, like a second womb, not just where life begins in the body, but where deep inner change starts. Embryonic breathing has nothing to do with air. It's about coming into full connection, body, mind, and soul, in a gentle way. The breath barely moves, but the energy flows in a powerful, quiet way. This breathing doesn't rise into the chest. It stays low in the belly. It makes no noise, but slowly changes the way your energy moves inside. Today, most people breathe in short, shallow ways because of stress and anxiety. This ancient practice takes us back to the beginning, showing us that we don't need to chase air or force the breath. Instead, we welcome it from inside, with full presence. In this video, I'll share what embryonic breathing really means, how it's different from other breathwork, how monks and energy masters used it, and how you can start to feel that deep memory again, even if your mind doesn't remember it yet. This knowledge doesn't come from modern science. It's an old doorway that only opens for people ready to remember how they used to breathe before they had a name, a story, or even a body, back when they were just pure presence. Today, you'll learn how to breathe like that again. And maybe, in doing so, you'll discover something even more important than air, your true energy. Throughout time, the most sacred teachings weren't taught with words, but with presence. A true teacher didn't speak much, they shared their energy. And the student didn't just listen with their ears. They learned with their whole being. Embryonic breathing is one of those hidden teachings. You won't find it in most books. You'll see it in the quiet way a moss. Embryonic breathing is one of those hidden teachings. You won't find it in most books. You'll see it in the quiet way a master holds their posture, the way their belly stays still, and how their energy doesn't get shaken by the world around them. Most people think the first breath happens at birth. But to ancient Taoist teachers, that moment was actually the start of being separate, the moment we left the flow of everything and became individual. They believe that real breath begins even earlier. Old Taoist texts like the Kantonki talk about a type of breath that doesn't need oxygen at all. It's not air going in and out. It's qi, life force, moving in spirals, collecting in the lower belly, feeding the organs, lifting the spirit, and waking up our awareness. The Taoist masters, called Nen, taught that before we ever breathed through our nose, we breathed through an inner center, like an energy cord that still hums where the umbilical cord once connected us to our mother. In the womb, this breath gave us everything we needed, energy, food, even information, with no effort. Surprisingly, this idea doesn't only show up in Taoism. In Hindu traditions, especially in Tantra and Pranayama, there's a state called Kevala Kumbhaka, which means, breathless breath. In this state, even if no air is moving, energy still flows. Yogis train for years to reach this deep silence where prana wakes up the body and opens the higher mind. Even in early Christian and Middle Eastern mystical teachings, there's talk of the breath of the spirit, called ruach. It's not made of air. It's pure presence, breathed in with the soul, not the lungs. So why do so many traditions say there's a breath beyond air? Because they understood something important: the body is just one part of who we are. Real power comes from the energy body. When we breathe from that place, everything starts to come into balance. And we connect back to something much bigger. A field where there's no line between who we are and what we long for. Embryonic breathing isn't a new method. It's the oldest one. A path that brings you back to the state before the mind, before your name, before wanting anything. In that space, you're not trying to get anything, because everything's already there. The Taoists knew it. The yogis knew it. The mystics of many paths felt it in their stillest moments. The strongest breath is the one no one hears. And learning to feel that breath again is how we begin to remember, deep in the belly, who we were before we became someone. When we hear the word breathe, we usually picture air moving through our nose, filling our lungs, and feeding our body with oxygen. But what if that's only the outside layer? Embryonic breathing isn't just about the body. It's a way of being awake. It's not about moving air in and out, it's about moving energy without the body needing to move. And that energy rises from a place most of us have forgotten, the deep center in the lower belly, known in Taoism as the lower dantian. This spot isn't a muscle or an organ. It's more like a center that quietly vibrates. People call it the energy womb of the human being. Life starts there, and if we want to wake up the kind of energy that doesn't come from pushing, but from balance, we need to return to it. Embryonic breathing begins when you stop breathing like a body that needs air and start breathing like a field of energy. In this practice, your chest doesn't rise, and your belly doesn't visibly move. From the outside, your body stays still. But deep inside, something starts to glow softly, like a warm coal in your center. Picture a ball of light in your lower belly. It breathes without moving. With every quiet breath, it pulls your scattered energy back in, gathers it, and sends it into your core again. That's embryonic breathing. A gentle, inner shift that changes your energy from the inside. So, how do you begin? First, with silence. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your breathing settle. Even the need to try should quiet down. This type of breathing can't happen when the ego is in charge. You need to stop trying to control it. Then, slowly, you may begin to feel your body breathing from a place that has no name or shape. You might be completely still on the outside, but inside, your energy starts to spread, from the center out to your arms and legs. It's like your cells are remembering their original pattern. This isn't just a nice idea. It's a return to something both physical and spiritual that lives inside us. The old masters called it the heartbeat of the universe, a soft rhythm inside everything that lives. Embryonic breathing helps you feel part of that rhythm again, not like a visitor, but like you belong to it. Your energy body, the part of you that supports your physical body, breathes in this way. There's no in or out, just steady flow. And in that flow, stress melts away. Stuck feelings loosen. Your nervous system gets a deep rest. And your mind grows still without effort, because it's resting in the belly, your true center. When you do embryonic breathing, it doesn't feel like you're doing something. It feels like something deeper is breathing through you. Like life itself is taking a breath through your body, reminding you that you're more than thoughts and flesh. You're a living presence, connected to the source. So far, we've seen how embryonic breathing helps you reconnect with your deepest energy center, a path that takes you back to the soul's original state, before it entered the body. But like any real inner path, this practice comes with surprises that don't always make sense at first. It's not just about a different way of breathing. It's about changing how you see time, the body, and your own energy. One of the first things people notice is that nothing big seems to happen at the start. There's no gasping, no big emotional shifts, no rush of heat. Its power is in what you don't see. The Taoist masters said a true teacher doesn't have to move to make a change, or speak to teach. In the same way, someone skilled in this breath doesn't have to move their body to shift their energy. The strongest movement is the one you can't notice. And that's the first challenge, letting go of needing signs, proof, or quick results. If you get too impatient, you'll miss the quiet beat of the energy body. Because this breath follows a different kind of time, not like a clock, but like the moon, slow and inward. Another big shift is how you treat your body. In the modern world, we use the body like a machine, to control the breath, hold tight poses, or push our focus. But embryonic breathing asks you to stop doing that. Instead, listen to your body like it has its own wisdom. Don't force a rhythm. Let it remember its natural one. This rhythm isn't something you learn. It's something you already know. It comes back when you stop chasing techniques and simply place your attention in your belly, like you're watching over a sacred dream growing quietly inside. Here's another thing that seems strange: this soft, almost invisible breathing can cause deep change. The old energy masters said that after some time with this practice, maybe weeks or months, you'll feel a gentle warmth in your lower belly. Like a small sun glowing inside, even when you're at rest. That warmth isn't just physical, it's energetic. It's a sign that something inside has woken up. That inner fire helps your body stay healthy, your mind become clear, and your spirit grow stronger. Unlike other methods, embryonic breathing doesn't go after results. And maybe that's why it works so deeply. When your center activates, your whole energy system starts to adjust. Your body finds its own balance. Your mind calms down and stops overreacting. And your heart finally relaxes, no longer chasing the future, but fully alive in the now. This kind of breathing also helps with heavy emotions in a special way. It doesn't bury them or make them explode. Instead, it changes them into something useful. Fear becomes presence. Sadness softens into compassion. Anger turns into clear understanding. And all this happens without needing to think about it. Because this practice doesn't speak in words, it speaks in the quiet signs of the body and the rich silence that holds everything. After a few weeks of breathing like this, something shifts, without you even noticing. One day, you realize you're no longer living from your thoughts, but from your center. And from that place, everything that once felt difficult becomes simple. You've learned to move like the universe does, effortlessly, but with purpose. Now, talking about embryonic breathing might sound like it's only for monks or spiritual seekers hidden away in the mountains. But that's not true. This practice, as ancient as the first heartbeat of the universe, doesn't need any special setting or deep knowledge. It only asks one thing: that you show up fully, in silence. Here are 5 simple ways to bring this into your everyday life, not as a new technique, but as a new way of being, more grounded, more present, more real. 1. Start each morning from your center. Before you check your phone, say a word, or even open your eyes fully, place your hands on your lower belly and just breathe. Don't try to control anything, just feel that space. At first, it might not feel like much. But if you do this every day, your body will start to remember its original rhythm. This small act helps you begin your day from your center, not from stress or distraction. And that changes everything. 2. Make silence part of your daily energy care. We live in a world filled with noise, digital, emotional, and constant. But the dantian, your energetic center, only wakes up in stillness. Give yourself 5 minutes of total silence each day. Not as a technique, but simply to be with yourself. Silence isn't empty. It's the space where your energy can settle, reorganize, and begin to speak. That's where you start to hear the breath of your soul. 3. When tension rises, return to your belly. The next time you feel fear, stress, or anger, pause. Don't overthink it. Don't fight it. Instead, bring your attention to your lower belly. Breathe gently there. Imagine a still energy sphere deep in your center, steady even when everything else spins. This small shift grounds you, calms your emotions, and brings you back to presence. It helps you step out of reaction and into inner wisdom. 4. treat your body like you're tending a sacred fire. Embryonic breathing lights a kind of inner warmth, a quiet energy that supports your body and mind. So care for your body with that in mind. Eat slowly, intentionally. Don't rush meals or eat just to fill time or emotions. Eat like every bite feeds your inner fire. When you do this, your energy flows better, your digestion improves, and your center grows stronger. You feel rooted. 5. Let yourself do nothing, with full presence. In a world that praises constant action, doing nothing can feel strange. But being still, without distraction, is powerful. It's not laziness, it's a statement, I am enough as I am. In that stillness, something aligns. And often, that's when embryonic breathing shows up, not because you're trying, but because you've finally let go. In the end, this isn't just a way to feel better, it's a return to life before you tried to fix it. Just a few minutes of this each day, and you'll begin to see, you don't need to change the world around you to find peace. You just need to remember the quiet breath that's always been inside you. Most people breathe without ever feeling who is breathing. Their lungs move out of habit, like machines that never stop. But they never breathe from the soul, from that silent center that doesn't need air, only presence. And yet, every one of us came into this world from that silence. From a soft rhythm that didn't come from the lungs or chest, but from the belly, the place where energy forms before anything else. Embryonic breathing isn't just a technique. It's a return. A homecoming to the oldest, purest part of you. It's like finding a thread that connects you to who you were before you had a name. When you were everything, without needing to be anything. A soul floating in boundless space, breathing without breath, fully alive, deeply connected. This video is a reminder, real power doesn't come from trying harder or knowing more. It comes from stopping. From emptying yourself. From listening to your body's quiet language. When you do, your body will start to remember how it once breathed, before you tried to control everything. Did you know there's a way of breathing that doesn't even need air, just attention? Your true center isn't in your head or even your heart. It's in the dantian, your soul's energetic womb. Stillness isn't doing nothing. It's the secret language of the energy body. And the deepest fire you can light doesn't come from willpower, but from surrender. To breathe this way isn't just meditation. It's a sacred act. A silent promise. I'm ready to stop controlling and start remembering. And when you do, your life starts to shift. Your breath becomes steady. The noise fades. Anxiety softens. And a quiet sense of belonging rises, like you've finally come home to yourself. So if any part of this touched you, if something deep in you recognized a truth you'd forgotten, don't ignore it. Start small. 5 minutes of silence. A hand on your belly. And a willingness to just be. Everything else will come. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and like the video so more people can rediscover this forgotten wisdom. Share it with someone lost in noise who needs to find their center. And leave a comment that says, I breathe from the origin. Because in the end, it's not about adding more. It's about returning to what's essential. And in that stillness, the universe breathes with you.